fixed. Treasurer Scott Morrison joins me now live from Canberra. Good morning to you, Treasurer.
G'day, Lisa.
So 5 months and we're yet to see any change in the way the economy is being handled, just more mounting debt. Whatever happened to that budget emergency?
Well, what we have announced is, of course, the big innovation package last year. What we've also seen is that business and consumer confidence has picked up, particularly over the last 5 months, and we've seen job growth continue. And of all the uncertainty and turmoil there is in the world at the moment, Australia is the best place to be in terms of the economy. And this is good news, that our economy is transitioning, our confidence is good, and our rate of growth is higher than all the major countries in the world. So while things are tough, sure, what we have to do is make sure we don't drag on that by putting taxes up on people, and that's what we'll be planning to do, not putting taxes up on people so they can get ahead.
But, Treasurer, you're a can-do minister. Stopping the boats proved that, and you were clearly working towards more ambitious tax reform, particularly on the GST, but the Prime Minister well and truly killed that. Did he hang you out to dry?
No, because what we did was, Lisa, is if we thought the GST was a bad idea for political reasons, that decision could have been made last year. What we did is we went and did the work, and what that work showed is that for all the effort of increasing the GST on one side to reduce taxes on the other side, at the end of the day, that didn't boost growth. Now, we're about boosting growth and jobs, and the times are tough globally at the moment. Everybody understands that. Anyone who watches the stock market and these sorts of things knows what's going on outside, and that means we need to continue to have a steady hand to get government expenditure, continue to get that under control, and not hit people with higher and higher taxes, which is what our opponents are proposing. They're just proposing higher taxes.
But in the time that you let the GST debate sit out there, Labor did get a bit of a heads up. They've already announced policies in a number of key areas. It seems they're now getting the jump on you. Are you going to announce any economic policy before the May budget?
We'll continue to announce policy. We've already announced major policy.
There wasn't much in that speech yesterday.
Yesterday was a framing of the budget. The major policy announcement so far has been the innovation statement of over $1 billion invested to make us a more innovative economy. That is a significant policy which was announced before Christmas.
Yeah, so
the budget will be in May like it
always
is. The budget will be in May like it always is. It's not in February. What I was making the point about yesterday is the task of the budget is to keep spending under control and not hit Australians with higher taxes. All Labor have done, Lisa, is announce higher taxes. That's not a policy, that's a slug on your viewers.
Well, they were the ones that said don't lift the GST, and you followed suit.
No, what we've done on looking at the GST was to reduce personal income taxes. What they're saying is we'll tax you more, but we won't give you any tax relief. They want to tax people more to chase higher levels of spending. What we're saying is the best way to get ahead in this economy, to back people in, is to ensure expenditure is low so taxes can be low. Well,
you've boasted about slashing spending by $80 billion, but you've gone and spent $70 billion. Is that really an economic record to boast about?
What we've done is over 300,000 jobs were created last year, Lisa. That is record job growth since 2006. What we've also done is where there's been additional claims on government spending, whether that's in building new infrastructure or things like that, we've been able to pay for it with savings. So we've been able to ensure that the new spending that has come on has been paid for by savings in the budget, not higher taxes. We've actually cut taxes by $20 billion. So lower taxes, lower spending is the plan for growth. Higher taxes for higher spending, well, that's a road to ruin.
But, I mean, the problem is you need to dramatically cut spending. That deficit is really an embarrassment for the country. Where are you going to cut spending?
Well, the spending as a share of the economy under our plan is already falling from 25.9% of the economy to 25.3% on the budget we've got out there. We have $13 billion of savings right now, which is being opposed by the Parliament, in the Senate, and particularly by the Labor Party. That includes welfare payments, which are, frankly, have no purpose to them. They're cash splashes in July for welfare payments. They're one-off payments. We want to get rid of those payments so we can ensure we can give even better targeted families assistance, particularly for those who need childcare. So you need better spending, you need more targeted spending, and you've got to say no to new spending. That's how you keep spending under control, and that's what I said yesterday.
Is there a huge disconnect between what you'd like to do economically right now and what's politically possible this close to an election?
Well, what's really the issue is the number of options are limited in this sort of economic environment. You need
but
to keep
this is
growth.
The same economic environment that the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister, said that it needed a new economic plan, and that was 5 months ago.
But what you said was we need to continue to explain why there is the need for the strategy of low taxes and low spending. And that's what I'm doing today.
So
and there is no easy answer to this, Lisa. It does take years. I mentioned it. It's test match, not 2020. And I could tell you, like others have in the past, that this can all be solved in 1 or 2 years. But I'm telling the Australian people the honest truth, that this will be a hard slog over a long period of time, and you've got to be disciplined and very sober about it in this difficult economy, so people continue to get in work and we continue to build confidence in the Australian economy. And this is the best place in the world to be when it comes to the economic times at the moment. We're doing better than our competitors. China is still growing, and we're well synced with the growth in China. And we think we need to spend less, tax less, not spend more and tax more, as Labor wants to do.
So will the real cuts happen after you get elected, if that happens?
No, our budget will set out what our savings measures are. I mean, they're already in there. There's $13 billion which still need legislating, which Labor is saying no to, and they've announced an additional $14 billion on top of that since the budget. They want to tax you 20 times more than they want to save, and I don't think that's a plan for jobs and growth. Our plan for jobs and growth is to get spending, continue to get that down so we can keep taxes down.
All right, well, a brand new cabinet is going to be sworn in today, the second in 5 months. Did the Prime Minister do the right thing keeping Tony Abbott off the front bench?
Oh, well, he's got a renewed cabinet. I think that's putting a lot of energy into the government, and I think people can see that. I mean, people like Alan Tudge and Dan Tehan, who are coming into that ministry today, Stephen Shobo, who goes into the trade portfolio, taking over from just an exemplary Bradman-like effort from Andrew Robb. I mean, this is great renewal, and this is positive change, and I think it's setting us up with the right team for the future. Would
you like to see Tony Abbott on the front bench?
Well, I don't make those decisions. The Prime Minister is about renewal in his team, and that's what's occurred, and I think that's great for the country.
OK, Treasurer Scott Morrison, great to have your company this morning. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for having us.